Good morning, everyone. This is Karam back with a bit of a improv video. There are a few things that I learned recently in terms of AI-based music content creation that I wanted to share with you. I may have mentioned before that I've been using both Suno and Udio to help with coming up with songs. And particularly with the Udio songs, I found that they sometimes sound fairly hollow and not as clear, even though some of the fidelity is pretty good. Some of the details in the drums and the instrumentation, and if there's certain songs that I want to have AI vocals on it, depending on the detail of the prompt that I put in, it can definitely create a lot of unique effects with it. What I've also been doing to reveal a bit of the behind the scenes work on the creation of the songs is that I've been using ChatGPT to optimize the prompts. I'll indicate if there's a certain song that I liked growing up or listened to recently. I will feed it into ChatGPT and say, come up with an optimized prompt that I can put into Udio or Suno to try and create a song that mimics that particular track, whether it's to try and bring back the authenticity of when that song came out during a particular time period, or there's just a certain sound that I like that I want to be able to create for myself as well. ChatGPT can come up with some pretty good details in regards to that. Just to show I've been trying to collect that information, I've been using Airtable to list the group that I'm inspired by, a particular song that I wanted to try and create my own version of theirs. And I will also list out the prompt that GPT gave me, but I'll also ask GPT to mention some of the key elements that made that song special, or maybe gives a hint on why I was drawn to it. Music is a personal experience, but what I found from GPT is that they actually gave some pretty good information in terms of key elements, such as a piano in a track, or something that sounds dreamy in certain melody elements, certain ways that the drums and the bass and the percussion are put together. It actually broke down how that artist's song was put together, and if there's certain elements that I like or I want to change for myself, what I can do in the prompt. And there could be further refinements, such as the prompt strength. In Udio in particular, you can adjust how much the strength of its AI building engine will follow your prompt. If you put it high, it'll be very strict to what you put in, or if you put it low, it allows for more creativity. You can also even influence the mood of the song. Do you want the drums to be more energetic, more emotional, or dramatic? The same thing from the vocal side. So I've been storing some of that very insightful and useful information from GPT into Airtable. The reason I do this is that each time I build a song, if I find that something I liked really worked, I can take this information and keep pasting it and adjusting it into Udio to see what works best in terms of what kind of song I want to output. So this is with Airtable, but aside from GPT and Airtable acting as a musical prompt knowledge management whenever I'm creating songs, another tool that I've been using, which I'll share here, is Adobe Audition. And the example I'm going to demonstrate is a particular way that a song is output in Udio. If I download the stems of that song, stems meaning you can have a separate audio song for the audio itself, the vocals. You can have another audio song that is for the drums and another one that's for the bass. That introduces a lot of interesting editing capabilities and mixing capabilities when you put it into Adobe Audition. And in fact, you can even do remastering of the songs as well. I mentioned before that sometimes songs that are coming out of Udio, they sound a bit hollow, maybe low fidelity, and you may want to make it sound more crisp. You hear that snare and the kick in the drums a lot more clearly. The vocals sound more enunciated and so forth, and the piano and keys just have that right strike and echoing effect to really give an immersive atmosphere to the songs. So Adobe Audition actually has this remastering feature as well that helps with the overall sound quality, and it makes a huge difference. It sounds like it's coming out of a studio. What I'll do as a quick demonstration is I'm going to play the original song of a jazz track that I put together. So I'll play it for a couple of seconds, and then I will go over to Adobe Audition and show you some of the subtle changes I made that put a bit of a difference in terms of the introduction of the track, but it does have quite the effect depending on what your tastes are in terms of how you want the song to flow. So let me play this jazz track. This is the version that Udio initially came up with. You know what? Let me put it at the beginning so you can appreciate it better. So it starts off piano keys, and then a couple of seconds later it jumps into the drums, and then it jumps into the bass line. So and then you have a nice kind of warm roads that are kicking in. And again, this is a jazz track with a prompt that I put in that was optimized by ChatGPT. Okay, so that was the Udio track. I will now go to Adobe Audition. And what I'm showing here, these 3 bars, these were the stems that I downloaded from Udio. The first one, it's a little bit small in the print here, but this is the bass. The second one here in purple, so green one is bass, purple is drums, and this one is labeled as other. This essentially represents the piano keys and the Rhodes that you hear. You see these yellow lines that are having this bending, parabolic, curving, ramping up sort of effect? This is the fade control. So if I hold down this square here, I can decide when I want the bass to kick in and start. You can have it start at the very beginning of the track, or you can have it a bit of a delay to it. Same with the drums. If I drag this little gray box here, you can decide when it kicks in. Now, let me play again real quick what you heard in Udio. See, bass and drums immediately kick in within the 4-second mark. So everything is playing together. Now, if I go to Audition, and I play the same track, and I apply these fades to the drums and the bass, and I also did a remastering as well. The remaster, I went to Effects, to Special, Mastering, and you can actually pick certain presets to it. I haven't done research yet on what each of these mean, but when I was looking at Bright Hype, my gut said, you know what, it sounds like it would make it sound brighter, more clear, more crisp. So I applied this to the track. In this case, it's applying it to the drums. Let me go to Effects, again, go to Special, Mastering, Bright Hype. I'll do the same thing for Other, Effects, Special, Mastering, Bright Hype. Okay, so 4 things total I just did. I applied mastering to each of these 3 segments, the Rhodes and the piano. The drums I put mastering. The bass I put mastering, and then I also put in the fade in effect delayed for the bass and the drums. So let's play it and hear what it sounds like. Bass is going to come in. The drums, it almost feels like it's only the cymbals, and then it ramps up into the full set. So it definitely changed it. It made the drums sound a lot more on the cymbals, maybe a bit of the hi-hats out there and so forth. Now let me stop that. And let me change the mastering on the drums. I want to put it back to the original effect because it took away a bit of the kick that I was looking for. Alright. And there is some mastering that was layered here. So let me get rid of that and get rid of that. And let's play it again and see what it sounds like. Okay, Rhodes and piano keys. Here comes the bass. So that's it. I'm gonna do another video that kind of explains my thought process in finding how each of these different tools come together to help with this remastering and with the remixing and fading in of the track. And I will also put it into a published guide that you will be able to get from my website and from my bio as well. But thanks again for watching, and more to come.